The problem with me and everybody is that our notions of things are kind of caught 5 years ago. Things change faster than we kind of catch up to them. I mean, a lot of people still feel like 2000 was a couple of years ago. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have this anchoring thing that we do. And I think with things like tapping, a new innovation comes along and it's really great and it's really accessible and bang, 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 away you go. And then before you know it, you kind of, what is this extra 10 cents I'm paying every time? And how much does that add up to? And you kind of, you're so deep in it by the time you catch up to what's happening that, you're a bit lost.
So let's use that as a bit of an example. What does that 10 cents add up to?
$4 billion a year nationally. I mean, internationally, it's much bigger than that. Like and the thing is, it's all like, so there's a little radio frequency. This is amazing stuff to me. And apologies in advance if it's not to you, right?
Don't worry. Don't let the T-shirt and the motorcycle fool you. I'm a fucking nerd, man.
I know. Like, so the radio frequency stuff goes back to, World War II planes. How do we identify our planes as opposed to others? And it kind of, it started getting used. I've got a swipe card that works on a security pass. These sorts of things have been used for decades. And then around early 2000s, Visa and MasterCard popped it into their cards and they introduced this pay wave idea. Took a little while to take off because none of the merchant terminals could really do it. So after a little while, the merchant terminals catch up. Everybody starts putting the pay wave stuff on their phone. And instead of having to insert your card or swipe your card, which is a little bit of a hurdle to the payment thing, it became seamless. And that is what payments have to be. If a business is getting your money, they want it to be like that. But if you want to kind of communicate with them or maybe ask a question or make a complaint, no. It can be much longer and harder. But getting your money has to be so fast and so easy. And so when it started becoming a matter of tapping your card and then tapping your phone, I mean, you're off and racing. Like people, there's no more mental arithmetic that needs to happen. Somebody says, tap your phone here and you go bang, and then you're away. You're gone.
I've got my thing. I've left.
I'm
down the street.
Deep in our brains, there's this thing that's been written quite a lot about by academics called the pain of paying. If I hand over a $20 note, it hurts. There's a part of my brain that just doesn't like it because I've accumulated, I've worked hard for it. If I'm tapping my phone, none of that bypasses it entirely.
It's the same reason that you have a chip at a casino. You trade your cash for this thing because you're not seeing your $100 note. It's just a little green piece of plastic. Off it goes.
Perfect example.
Oopsie daisy. It's out.
And that's kind of how it feels. Is that invariably, businesses like casinos, other people see that is that has some depth to it. A supermarket, you put the good stuff at the back. You don't have clocks. You don't have windows. These sorts of things, like the casinoification of other sorts of business, I guess.
It is playing, at the core of it is playing on our psychology and that, no, but I want this coffee now. Now, I'm tired and I want that cinnamon scroll now.
Yep.
And I paid in Brisbane yesterday, I paid $8 for a iced long black in Strathpine in Peter Dutton's seat, no less. I was like, Jesus, fuck, I have a coffee machine at home because I'm no you, but I'm like, this works out way cheaper. If
totally.
It's also better. But when it comes to something like that, so let's take the argument again. Say if you make, $4 billion a year coming out of just punters' savings accounts. To start talking about, well, hang on a second, is this a good idea? What's the argument against that? What's the business community, what do the people that own these financial transaction companies have to say about, hang on a second here?
There are some, it is convenient.
Yeah.
It is secure. If I lose my debit card, someone can tap it. If I lose my wallet, someone can just take my cash. But if I'm tapping my phone, I have to have the facial recognition or maybe the thumbprint software. That is secure. And, that's a fair point, I think. You don't have a lot of risk anymore that somebody else is going to pickpocket you and run around town. You have a lot of other risks. Scammers are just loving the digital economy that we've gotten ourselves into. So look, there's a lot of ways that you can kind of justify these sorts of changes. I think anything where there's a conversation to be had, these people are very good at arguing their points. You're not going to sit them down and change their mind, and they're not going to unring the bell of digital payments and that sort of stuff. We're there now. Mm-hmm. But I think broadly, the problem that I have is that the tactics of confusion are so lucrative now and they're so widely used